Hey Void, told you I'd be right back. So the next one in that list is a movie I actually have been looking for to add to my collection for a long time. And my movie buying habits are odd. I buy a lot of movies, don't get me wrong, constantly. But I almost never specifically order them online. Like, I have a feeling, though, is if I just pick and choose, I would never stop ordering movies because I want them all. So, I usually have to encounter something in the wild for me to actually add it to my collection. So it usually has me hunting around used shops, anything that happens to have DVDs or Blu-rays. I'll always stop in, take a look, see what I find. Usually find something. Don't always. But for movies I'm actually looking for, I have to get lucky to actually find them. Or someone has to buy them for me, like my partner did for Deep Rising. I've been looking for this movie for a long time. I've only seen it a couple of times before, but I always remembered really enjoying it. So I was happy to finally add it to the collection. And I never understood why I was always so drawn to this movie, but after watching it again, I think I get it now. This is just the right kind of then of sci-fi horror ridiculousness mixed with action snark, and I think I found the reasoning for it while rewatching it. I'll get into that later though. So got it for my birthday, and promptly put it right into the DVD player, and it was good to see it again. So, Deep Rising involves a cruise ship, which is like the world's most fancy rich person yacht with a casino on board. Caters to the super rich on its maiden voyage. It's a pleasure barge, essentially. Well, Treat Williams is a boat owner with his small crew that's ferrying a group of mercenaries out there to. Well, he just doesn't ask questions. He doesn't care why they're going out there or where. He'll take anyone, wherever, no questions asked, as long as he gets paid. Well, you should ask some questions because these are some people looking to rob and then sink this treasure ship. So, uh-oh. But when they get there to get on board and rob the rich clientele, they find the boat mysteriously empty. Thousands of people are just gone. And as they begin looking around, well, they begin finding half dissolved bodies and a lot of blood. And the few survivors they come across are saying that there's monsters all over, which promptly begin some long snake-like creatures with fanged maws begin immediately appearing and swallowing them whole to drink them alive. So it's then on board they meet Famke Janssen. Sorry if I'm still pronouncing that wrong. Who's then plays the Femme Fatale, as she's essentially was there to also rob the ship, but got caught and stuck in the brig, which is why she's still alive. So she can reprise her femme fatale role afterwards, as she's gets into a weird pseudo romance with Treat Williams' character as they go do it they can to survive this. Their boat is already damaged, so it's do what you can to try to survive this and figure out a way to back to dry land. And it's a lot of fun. It is. This movie had a bunch of things going against it at the time. Due to some other delays, it ended up being released at about the same time as Titanic, the biggest movie at the time. And so, two boat movies, one about a cheesy monster who's attacking a cruise ship, couldn't really compete with Titanic. So the movie kind of bombed. But I still found it a lot of fun. Now, why do I like this movie so much? Well, the writer director is Steven Sommers, the writer director of the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie. Aw, yeah. And it feels like it's in the same universe as that. Treat Williams' main character feels like a cross between Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser, and it works. It's a lot of fun. It's got the same style of humor, the same over the top monster effects, and it's fun. Now, it does have its flaws, much like what I was talking about in my Alien Resurrection review. This CG is about the same time as Alien Resurrection, and yeah, it doesn't hold up too good. The practical effects for like the half dissolved people and bodies, now that was working. But yes, the monster itself, unfortunately now, is badly impacted by that CG. But if you can forgive that, the movie itself, it's still a hell of a ride. Bit of trivia: this movie was actually supposed to. Then, if it had done better, it would have actually segued into a King Kong reboot, which would have predated the Peter Jackson one by about 6 years. Well, instead of the Peter Jackson one, that probably would have been a little bit closer to the year 2000 or so, and this would have kind of segued into that as pretty much they end up on a spoiler, I guess. The survivors of this pretty much end up on an island, which they hear roaring in the distance, so it was supposed to be the equivalent of finding Skull Island. And they were supposed to just kind of continue on from there, so it would have been a neat little crossover, but unfortunately, it was not to be. The movie's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's cheesy, but it's the fun kind of cheesy. I'm giving this one a 7 MacGuffins, man. It's really worth checking out. It's just a fun movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it has fun with its concept of being a sea monsters attacking a cruise ship. It's fun. I don't know how much else I've got to say on this one though. Cast otherwise is also really good, but there's a lot of people to list, so I'm not gonna go down the whole line. But Treat Williams is kind of the standout here, and it's worth watching for his dialoguing alone. But uh, check it out. That's all I really got. Check it out. It's a good old fashioned monster movie. All right, that's all on that one, and probably keep working through my stack because the thing about my birthday is I like bad movies, so I decided to watch some bad ones. This one I don't know if you really technically qualify as one because I think it's actually good, but critics didn't really care for it. But my next one definitely is bad in the best way. Well, see you soon.